We're going to go around the Peace Garden tonight. It's just after 11 o'clock. And I can't keep turning this camera around to face me to talk, because I've got a massive torch underneath it that just, I can't keep turning it on and off. And I can't have that torch in my face because it's going to blind me. But we're going to have a look around, and it's been a while since I used this camera, so let's go with our big work torch. Oh, we're going to turn on the IR as well. Oh, excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. But we're going to be going around the Peace Garden tonight. And most of the time, when I go around the Peace Garden, it's at night time. Anybody that doesn't know, I haven't turned my torch on yet. I was wondering why I couldn't say. Anybody doesn't know anything about the Peace Garden was built by a Catholic priest. And it's in the shape of a map of Ireland. And on the map of Ireland, there is certain Christian landmarks. And they are situated where they would be in the country, if you know what I mean. We have a small Croke Patrick and a couple of things like that around the place. There's a round tower and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very interesting place. And it's all mostly, it's kind of like less a garden of flowers and plants, even though there is flowers and plants, more a garden of structures, if you know what I mean. It's very misty tonight. There's a lot of moisture in the air. It's not raining or anything. It was bright all day. First wee building here has a wooden statue of the mother and child. And the first time I done this at night, I didn't know that the statue was there, and it scared the shit out of me. There's some mushrooms. See? That caught me off guard when I first seen it, you know? There's a picture there of a nun that was killed in an earthquake, and she's from the city that I'm in. And you've got benches here that you can sit on. It's a kind of a reflection garden. You can sit in quietness, and you can pray or reflect or whatever you want to do. And this is the round tower. Before we go into this round tower, there's a quick passageway back to the start again. But everything that's in there is all marshland. This is all sort of useless bogland that was turned into this garden. And it's all flat, so there's no hills to climb or anything like that, you know. And here is a piece of a root of an oak tree. And this large piece of bogwood piece is dated about 2,000 years old. So there you go. But these are all replicas, you know. These are, I think they're railway sleepers, as steps. There's a cross. The Jesus is not on it though. Or we've a wee upstairs here. I'll show you. It's really musty up here. And there's birds poo. You can sit up here. The roof does have stone built up on metal sheeting here, and this metal frame is holding all that up, including the stone. And the centerpiece is actually a spool. You know them wire spools made from wood, where you'd have copper lines and stuff. That's what that is. There's slight leakage. You can see the white from lime coming in. But it's relatively dry here. There sometimes is a few little damp patches, but it's relatively fine. And I think these are plugs, I think. Yeah. And then there's those areas here where you put candles in the windows. See the amount of moist. This area here gets hot. That's why you get a lot of humidity in here, and the windows have this green algae growing in the inside of it. It can get pretty hot in here sometimes. I'm not supposed to be doing this because of my blood pressure. It's just a lid of some bottle. I can see moisture in the air. It hasn't been raining, but it's just kind of like a mist. It's a heavy mist. I think this one brings me to the centre garden. I'll show you. I can see droplets of moisture in the air. This is mound aside here, new. I just don't remember this mound of soil here that has flowers in it. You see you won't see it on camera, but it seems like the grass is white with frost, but it's actually just a heavy mist. I'm gonna have to sit down in a wee second. The animal tracks. This statue is usually holding stones. It's kind of people put their wishes or prayers, and they put the offerings in the hand. There's none in it today. It's usually you put your stone in there. I think people hold the stone and put their wishes and prayers. You know, they think about somebody or think about a loved one or think about a prayer, think about healing, and then they present the stone into the hand here, and it's usually full of stones, you know. But none on it today. I thought there might be some on the ground, but no. You know, they're usually full of round stones. I need a seat to sit on here. It was actually not a bad day today for a change, and I still didn't manage to go out. I ended up editing a video and it took me all day. During the daytime I will be using my phone, you know, instead of this, because I got my gimbal working and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I haven't been using a phone to make videos until recently, until I upgraded my phone to have enough space. The amount of moisture that is in this air is insane. You know, I can see it from the spotlight, and it's quite amazing. It's so light, it's just floating through the air, you know. But the phone was easy enough to get used to, and I got used to doing it, you know. But the old phone I had was a J3. A Samsung J3, and there isn't very much space on the Samsung J3, and it wouldn't default to saving on the SD card, and I couldn't find a setting for that. So maybe there's something I missed. But with the new phone, which is a Samsung A6, Samsung A6. Aye, Samsung A6. Jesus, loads of space. And with the gimbal, you get that steady shot. It's pretty cool, you know. But I like to do these walks at night time because nobody else is around. I get peace. People think it's scary. I actually think it's the opposite. Unless I hear noises that I'm not familiar with, then you get a bit freaked out, but you know, it's usually a logical explanation, you know. Sorry I can't turn the camera towards me every time I'm talking, but I've got a big work lamp and it's something like 18 volts. It's powered by a cordless tool battery, and it's a pretty bright work light, and strapped to the side of it is two IR lights, infrared lights. And if I was to keep turning the camera towards me, I have to turn all of those things off before I can turn it. And I just don't want to keep doing that, you know. It's a clear night. There's a lot of stars about. Let's go on a bit. We're heading towards the end of summer and we're starting to get it was like a big deep cough I just heard. Mommy, I'm scared. It's possibly a cow in the field next door. Oh shit. I'm not comfortable. I'm hearing what sounds like footsteps behind me. Feeling a wee bit uneasy now. Just after talking about not being scared at night time, and it's actually quite peaceful and stuff. Back to the wrong tower. Oh, we'll take a wee detour through here. There's a stainless steel structure. It's a cross, and it's kind of done in modern style. Well, the cross is wood, but the Jesus on it is stainless steel. See, when I turn off my spotlight, the light widens out. Now, there is a field in there. There's a road there, and then there's a field. Maybe that's where the cough came from. Because cows sometimes do cough. There was a wee artificial pond here. There it is. It's kind of like a plastic basin kind of thing. Where's this that water supply hasn't been running in a long time. I think this pipe just stuck in here into this rock. There's a willow tree that fell over a number of years ago, and it's still growing. The branches are growing upwards. See the way the tree had fallen down, but the side branches now growing from it, you know. We're back out onto the path now. Oh, there's a wee seat in there, right? This used to be a little house made from willow branches, and they were woven through each other, but it all seems to have all collapsed in on itself. It wasn't really looked after, you know. But we have a few more buildings around here, including a church, and the church is made from bales of straw, believe it or not, and just plastered over. Oh, what has happened? Here was, oh my God. Oh. There's dead branches, there's burnt leaves. God, what's happened here? There was a little shed here, and it was like a manger kind of thing. And it was quite a big shed. And all I see is blackness. And there's a piece of wood that's obviously charred. And all the branches around are all burnt. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna turn to. I turn to ordinary vision here. Yeah, there's blackness on the tree, and it goes up to a really big height, and you see all the brown leaves. Like, it's not quite autumn yet, and you got just a blackened floor, and you got this. There's a piece of wood, and it's all black. So obviously there was a fire, which is a shame. And there was lovely comfy seats in that building too. I hope. Very often the electricity isn't on in these buildings. So I'm thinking, was it an electrical fire or was it deliberate? I would hate to think that it was deliberate. Because, you know, this is relatively a peaceful place that nobody really goes to. But we're not very far from the area that I'm living in, and it's not exactly paradise, if you know what I'm saying. But it's too far out to walk, you know. Shame to see that building gone. I'm going to sit down in the seat. We're heading towards, on the Ireland map, we would be in a county called Mayo, and in County Mayo we've got Crowpatrick, and this is kind of a small hill representing Crowpatrick, and then there's a cross on the top of it. Now on top of the real Crowpatrick you have a little church, you know. I'm going to point this up here till I get my breath back here for a second. It's a shame. It's a shame to see that building gone. Everywhere I go exploring, I usually come across people trying to put houses on fire and buildings on fire. This was the last place I would think that something like this could have happened. I must look up and see what exactly happened there, but yeah. It was a big wooden shed with kind of a double door turned into a single door, and then like church pews, except for it had cushioning and leatherette covering on it. It was kind of cozy in there. You could sit down there for a few minutes and stuff. But it's gone now, unfortunately. The next building is the church. This is a wee makeshift well, and there's no water. There was a tap there at one point, but it's all full of these wee water plants, wee floating plants. We still have our pansies growing and stuff in the pots. A few trees falling over there that needs to be cleaned up. That tree is flipping dead. So is that. There's a bit of cleaning up to do there. Oh, this is a newish shelter that has some artwork in it. And the church is over there. I'm going to, there we go. I'm turning off this. Oh, this doesn't work. We need light. There's a bit of a shine, there's a bit of a reflection, but hope you can make out the piece of art that's there, you know. Now, this area has had some renovations, and there's a bit of patching up that was done on the outside of the church. Now, the outside of the church has a skim of plaster, but it's only plastering over. Oh. That scared the shit out of me. The light reflected off the window and put a narrow streak of light across the footpath that scared me for a second. There's little holes that's been patched up. It's kind of, I see it's where it's also kind of cracking when it's very hollow because it's underneath that it's just bales of hay, you know. And when you're in the church, just inside the door, there's a section of plaster that's just exposed where the plaster's not there, a square, and then there's a glass frame over it, and it just shows you that it's made from straw, you know. Don't know if too much reflection. We get in during the day sometime. Over here we have an aviary of little birdies, and it's a bit late at night. Everything seems to be quiet, but the aviary actually used to be a little bit bigger than this, you know. You go in here and you close this over so the birds don't get out, and then you have a little the secondary door there, so it's stops birds getting out, sort of thing, when you open the door, you know. And there was an area yeah, that's me. It's causing a light. The light is reflecting off the window and coming back, and I keep thinking that somebody with a torch is around. There was an area, sort of, I think it was around this area, where they were letting in heavy machinery to come in and do some work. Or possibly could be up here, don't know. It was around this area anyway. To get in a digger, it was up there, you know. And the St. Bridget's Cross. And it's made from wire, actually. And we got Murd's Cross. St. Murd's Cross is over here, carved into the stone. Let's see if I can turn off. You can see the carving in there, you know. See if I can. Oh. Let me take it easy. Very, very damp. It's not raining, it was just heavy mist. Whoops. That was a bird I wanted to see, actually, or is that a bat? There's a bird, swallow or a swift. It's a little forked tail. Comes every spring, and comes every single spring. That's a bat. Comes every single spring. And then he comes in here and he makes the nest. She comes in here and makes the nest. And that was this year's nest. It's kind of regurgitated mud and stuff. And they come every year. You know, I didn't see it this year. It wasn't down here. The odd time you'll see a bat hanging up. I have seen a bat in here during the day, hanging up from the rafters here. But there's one flying around outside. It's kind of damp in here. And that's a damp chair. There's some of these buildings have little fire in them. But that fire, that stove kind of broke apart and they took it out. Yeah, what was flying around me was a little, they call it a Donegal bat. They're a tiny little thing. There's a wee bench there to sit on. I might sit on that for a few minutes. Is it dry? It is. Over there's another wee church. We'll get to it in a minute when I get my breath back. You know? I'm getting into bad habits of being in the house too much. You know, it's not doing me any good, mentally or physically. So, I need to get out a wee bit more. There's a landscaped area here. There's a narrow track going through there. It's a very narrow track. It looked like maybe a mouse ran through there. Like this, all this grass looks white to me because there's so many tiny little droplets. But I can see a narrowest little track going through there, and I think that might be a mouse. It's tiny. It's like a wheel of a bicycle. You know, it's just... And then it suddenly takes a turn sort of thing, and it wouldn't take that steep of a turn with a bicycle like. There's a nice coloured rose. We see. We can see. There we go. That's nice. That's new. I hope this church is safe. Oh, thankfully. Thankfully it's alright. Oh, the ivy is growing in. These are the type of stoves that they have. This one has fallen apart too. And people have left money as little offerings. And there's a picture of a guy here. I wonder, there's a picture. Somebody's after the picture. There's no name on the back of it. There's a little passport photograph. He must have passed away. I'll put there'll be some money on top just to keep it safe. You know, put another money there, and we cross and we a scented candle and stuff. Lighting candles in these little things is not a great idea. Possibly could have been a cause of the fire, the other place. You know, but that ivy needs to be dealt with before it breaks through the wood fully, sort of thing. It's coming in here as well, you know. But anyway, let's go. Oh, we're still in There we go. There's lights around the area. This pole has fallen over. There's a light in there. I never see the lights on. There was once I seen half them on at night. You know? Another building that used to be a thatch. And the thatch, it rotted away. And it was starting to affect the structure itself. So it was replaced with this wooden roof. Wood in Ireland, wooden buildings in Ireland, isn't the best idea in the world because it's a very wet country. But thatch cottages were popular way back years ago in Ireland. Don't know why, because, you know, straw and dampness. It's a heavily maintenance to thatch a house. And possibly the reason why there's no thatch on this anymore and it was replaced with this wood. Thatchers is a certain right judgment. There's these cards around the place. There must have been some sort of game or something that I was playing around here. But, oh, there's memorial cards everywhere. Memorial cards. Thatchers is a very, it's a special craft, and over the last number of years, it's become less, you know, there've been less and less thatchers. A lot of them have grown old, some of them have died off, you know. I'm going to sit down. I'm gonna pick up some of these cards. It's Ray Taylor, who fell asleep on the 7th of August 2024. Where is she from? It doesn't say. So rest in peace to Ray Taylor. Ivor McElhenney, who died on the 11th of February 2016, and he was aged 77. Doesn't say where he's from either. Don't think this is one. Right, this is a kind of a modern one. Oh my God. Oh. In loving memory of our girl Kathleen McLaughlin. She was born in 2006 and died in 2023. And there's a, you know, there's a picture, she's quite young. It's sad. All seem to have gathered up here. Bernadette Kelly, who entered eternal life on the 3rd of January 2016. She was only aged 57. Irish Lynch entered eternal life on the 28th of April 2021, and she was 78 years old. Lorne McGonigal, who died on the 12th of April 2024, and he was 77 years old. There's a wee cross there. Philomena Mullen went to heaven on the 15th of February 2024, age 65. He's not that old. In loving memory. Cardinal Newman. There's no picture. There's just a rose. There's no date on that one. Oh, here's another one. John Kelly, who died on the 5th of September 2021. He's only 58 years. Oh, here's a young fella. Jack Edgar, who went to heaven on the 27th of December. It was 2 days after Christmas Day. 27th of December 2022. Doesn't say what age he is, but there's a young picture on there. Oh. There's a lady here, Louise O'Doherty, which is a local name, but she kind of looks kind of Indian. She's got kind of dreadlocky hair and earrings with lots of things hanging off them and that. Graduated to heaven on the 16th of January 2021. She was only 40 years old. I think of one more. That's amazing, a memorial card. I don't know if the cameras are going to be able to pick this up. The one I just read. Let me see if I can. You know, and then a picture again is in there. You know, it's very colourful, and then there's a wee angel on the back of it. We have one more to do. David O'Doherty entered eternal life on the 4th of January 2022, age 73. Yeah, that's them all now. That's all of them. Oh, there's one here. James McGowan, gone to his eternal home on the 24th of May 2023. May they all rest in peace. You all seem to have gathered them all in this little... Oh, here's the... Jack Edgar. I read his memory card down here, but he's got this. You know? There's that picture again. That's the second that we seen this picture in the other church. You know? Right. We'll go on another wee bit. Oh yeah, we'll go this way. This is the area where it's manicured. There's a bit of a lawn. There's tiny tracks all over this lawn where there seem to be mice or something that's ran through here. Another artificial pond. Where's my camera? It's going okay. And there's some planting. They seem to like these mounds, you know? And they made these rockeries for the flowers and stuff. This mound is a bit different though. This one right in front of me. This has a artificial cave in it. And I thought it was a representation of Jesus' tomb, but it's column kills hideout or something. Oh, Columbanus's. Now, in here it gets wet. Basically, there's probably rocks up most of it, something to make a roof, and then there's netted, meshy stuff to keep the plaster on. What are these? These are the little moths all gathered. What does it show you? Oh. There's little moths. There's about 10 of them and they're all gathered together. There's wood up there. But it does get damp in here and it fills up with water sometimes. I'm back on night vision. I am. It's not a bad night, you know? At least it's not windy and raining and stuff. In there, all along there, right to the other side. I wouldn't walk through there because that's all marshy stuff. That's all bog. And you'd probably sink to your backside in there, you know. But they managed to make a nice garden out of it, and it's got tarmac footpaths. And it's all relatively flat. So for people like me, I don't have to worry about going up a hill. Now this is the last building we're going to tonight. There is a window on it, but it's between those little slats on the side of the building that lets in a little bit of light. There's a big door too, a big heavy door, right? There's the windows, you see. But from the outside you think there was no windows. but light comes into them slats. This is a well-structured building, and there's another stove here, you know. It's quite a nice little building, this one, you know. Like it's got real walls, you know, brick walls or concrete blocks, and then it's just lined with this kind of straw stuff, kind of sheltery kind of stuff, just to give the wall a bit of character, you know. But it's another reflection room, you know. And this isn't far from my house, you know. I don't have to go far to go see this. But this is in a different country than I'm in, for people that are in America. I live in Northern Ireland. And Southern Ireland is across the border. I've just crossed the border less than a mile from my house, or about a mile from my house, and I'm now in the Republic of Ireland. And when I'm back home, I'm in Northern Ireland. Yeah, a lot of mist. And I see it's starting to fog up a little bit. Oh, there's a lot of moisture here, Jeannie Mark. That is the shortcut across, which would take you back over to right at the round tower, you know. There's a bit of work done in here. I don't know what they were doing. I know they cleared out a few trees, but there's some bamboo growing here. You know, there's bamboo. They have planted some shrubs. Oh yeah, they planted this up nice. But they had to take out a lot of trees. There was rotten trees and stuff. Very nice. But that is basically it. I'm going to turn off my hours. I'm going to turn off my, and I'm going to turn around to you. Right, that was my walk, and it's quite an interesting wee place, and it's very peaceful and stuff, you know. Nothing really weird happens. The odd time of rustling, it's usually little animals and stuff, you know. So, yeah, at least I can go home and I can say that I've actually went for a walk today, because I've got into very bad habits of getting up and just watching YouTube videos all day. Well, I should be editing, you know, but it's time for me to go, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.